Ian Moore was satisfied. This is a CVT guitar lesson for Mark. And Mark, it's been a while, man. I think you had a Van Halen CVT or something that's way back. But I know by your song choice, you're probably a pretty darn good player. I've never heard this song, but this Ian Moore is quite the player. If you're into blues, man, why wouldn't you be into this guy? Good singer, too. The tuning on this is standard. And the first part that comes in is at 11 seconds in. I just titled this section Intro. Half step, which is a 1 fret, pre-bend, release, pull off to 9, starting on the 11th fret. So if you're doing a pre-bend half step, you gotta bend the 11 up to that pitch. Pick, release, pull off to 9, and then 11-9 DG, vibrato, rest, hammer 11. Here it is. 17 seconds in, 12B, whole step bend. And then a pre-bend whole step, 12th fret release, pull off to 9. That's a mouthful, but all it is 11G, bend, release, pull off to 9. 11-9 DG vibrato. So it's 11G bend, then 9-11 vibrato. Rest, bend, whole step. 11G, bend, release, pull to 9. And then 11-9 DG. Shift the index up like to 9 on the D, slide to 11. In other words, here it is slow. So what I do is act as if I'm barring it and just shift up rather than make an individual motion. Okay, from there, 26 seconds is our next timestamp. 12th fret high E, 2 times, hammer to 14. And then 14th fret, step and a half bend. You're bending an F sharp to an A, up to that. And then hold it there, stop, pre-bend, release that, and then go to 12E. 13G, quick slide to 11, pull to 9, 11D. And some of these little riff markers subtle, but I got all of them for you in this intro, and then the main solo, you know, and the rhythm and stuff. But that's that one. That's a subgroup. That's a cool little riff, and it's only 4 notes. 34 seconds in, 11G. Some of these are repeat riffs. Bend, release, pull to 9, 11-9 DG vibrato. Then go 12B, 11G bend, 9G, 11D, 9G vibrato. Sounds like this. 11D rest. 39 seconds in, 9D hammer to 11. And then 9-11G, bend, release, pull off to 9 to 11D. That subgroup riff sounds like this. Slower. 11G, bend, release, pull to 9. 11-9 DG. That's kind of a consistent riff. You know, he's using a lot of the different pentatonic shapes. There's 5 pentatonic minor patterns, and he's kind of using all of them. Do that again, but don't put the 9G in there. Instead, go 11G bend to 9G. Sounds like this. Okay, and that's it for the intro. Section 1A, double stops, kind of the Hendrix style thing. You're going to go 4G and 5B. Hit them at the same time. Do a hammer onto the 6th fret G, pull off back to 4th fret. So leave that index down. And then 6D. Quick rest. 6D, you're already there. Slide to 4, pull to 2. And then 4 to A. Open E. This comes in at 49 seconds. Section 1B, based out of an E major. You're going to hit the open E, and then open E and B, up, down. So it's 1 G, 2 D, up, down. So it's, and then a bass walk up. On the low E string, open 2, 3, 4. I would use the index for all that. Now I watched some live stuff. He does use his thumb on this. I'm not saying that he did in the studio, because people play live, they do stuff different. But you could transition to that thumb on the 4th fret. Let that ring as you go 5 G, 4th fret B and E, strum. So it's 5 G, you're already there. Hammer 6, pull 5 to 6 D. So it's C sharp minor. That was basically G sharp major there. Now we're going to C sharp minor. Bar 4th fret on the A string all the way down. Go 6 D, 6 G, and 5 B. You're going to play the A string first, and then the last 4. So it's okay. That's the end of page 2. 6A, slide to 8, and then 6, 8 D to F sharp, but you could use your thumb. On the 2nd fret low E, as that's ringing, go on the D string working down, 4, 3, 2, 2. So it's, and then B major, 2A, 4th fret D, G, and B. We're going to hit the A string first, and then the 4th fret D, G, and B, and then down up 4, 2 on the G. So it's, okay, this is what I call a slash chord, not the guitar player, but a mix between like a keyboard player chord. 4A, slide to 6, and then bar the 4th fret D and G. That's a hold. That's a B major with an E flat bass. That's basically your B major, but instead of the B bass, it's got the E flat. Open D, hammer to 1 to open A. Rest, let it ring, go 2 G. Down, up, open A and D. So it's pretty cool little run there. 3A, hammer to 4. Down, up on 2 D. And the same thing on the low E string and A string. So it's, so open E. Actually, no open E, I don't think. Yeah, there is. Open E, and then 2 D, 1 G, open B and E, down, up, down, up. So you'll go down, up on the 1 G, 2 G, 1 G. So it's to 2 D to open E and B. So it's, and then again on the open B. 2A, hammer to 4, and then shift that finger down like a bar. Go down, up, 4th fret D, down, up, 2nd fret D. So it's, so Mark, there's lots of cool riffs, man. If you think of subgroups, in my mind, I usually like to look for a rest and see how many notes are in there. Maybe it's 4, 6, 8 before the next rest. That's a really good spot to subgroup things, but you can subgroup them as small as you want or as large as you want. That's it for that section. You'll do that twice, basically. He alters it a tiny bit the second time to keep it just solid in there. Section 2, 1:44. Stretch time. 2A, 4D. You're going to go. So twice, and then 2A, 6D. Pull off to 4D. And do that 4 times. That's one. Okay, then open E, 2A. Hit them both twice. Go to open 4 EA, pull off to the 2nd fret A. Do that 4 times. Sounds like this. Back to the first part 4 times. Then it goes. Kind of a country style thing. Open 2 on the E and A, that's our E5 chord. Twice. 3E, hammer to 4. 2nd fret A twice. 4A to 2D. And do that 2 times. Here it is. Back back to the B form, 2A, 4D. It's like the beginning of this section, 2 times though. Then you'll have this. It's a diminished. 3A, 4D, follow the fingering in your tabs, 5G and 4D, and then a rest. And then 4B, 5G and 4D. So it's... I'm going to do a finger correction here, that's going to throw you off. That 4B is played with the 3rd finger. Okay, top of page 4. C sharp minor. Bar the, or well, actually we don't have to bar it. 4A, 6D, 6G, and 5B. You'll go A, D, and then G and B together. To a B major, 2A, 4D, and then 4th fret G and B together. I like to bar that. So the top of page 4 is open A, 2D, 4G, slide to 6. It's a hold. Or open A, 7D, 6G, 7D. Okay, from there. That's the end of that section, by the way. Solo's coming up pretty quick. Section 3, 2 minutes, 7 seconds in. It's... So open on the E, 2 on the A. You're going to hit those together twice. Then the 4th fret A twice. 5th fret A twice. 4th fret A once. 2nd fret A once. But you have the open E with all that. 2A, 4D. You're going to hit that twice. Then 2nd and 6th fret A and D. Back to 2nd and 4th and do that twice. Okay, and then open 2, A and D string. We're going to build an A major chord though. Hit the A and D string twice. Then the last 3 strings, 2nd fret G, B, and open E. Down, down, up. 4, 2, open on the E. So. And then 2, 1, open, open, last 4 strings. And that's just an E major form. Oop, was it cutting that off? The solo coming in at 2 minutes 15 seconds. 9D, hammer to 11, 9G, and then shift up to 9D after that. 11G bend, and then go 11, 9 to 9D. So it's 11G vibrato at the whole step point. So bending to the G sharp. Stop there. 11 pull 9 on the G. And then 11G bend. 11G bend, hold, then bend. So it's 2 minutes 23 seconds in. 12B, you're going to bend twice. 11G bend, release, pull off to 9. Vibrato. So it's okay, 11 pull 9 on the D, and then 11G bend release, so it's, and then 9, 11 GD up down slide. 2 minutes 28 seconds. Middle finger 11G, slide to 13, and then on the B string go 12, 12 hammer 14 to 12E. 14B. So it's 14B half step, that's a 1 fret. So a D note bending to a D flat, pulling off to 12 off the 14th fret. 13G, 12B, hammer 14. 13G, slide to 11, pick 9. 11G, pre-bend release 11G, pull off to 9. 11D, 9G, hammer 11. Sounds like this. And that's it for page 4. Last page. Top of page 5. 2 minutes 35 seconds in. We're going to go 12B, pull off to 9. And then 11G, bend, release, pull to 9 to 11D. And then do that again, but don't put the 11D in the end. So it's 12B bend, 12B, 11G bend, 11 pull 9 on the G, and then 11 9 DG vibrato rest slide. Sounds like this. Two minutes 40 seconds in. Middle finger 11G, slide to 13. 12B twice, vibrato, and then hammer 14. It's not about the speed, it's about the feel of the riffs, right? 14E, bend, release, pull to 12. 14E bend, 14 vibrato, hold, bend, slide. So it'll be a 246 in. We're gonna go 19th fret high E, bend, and then 19 17 E, 19B, bend, 19 pull 17 to 18B. Let's do all that from 246. 19B bend, 19B vibrato. So it's actually vibrato, slide, pull to 17, and then 18G slide. So it is 251 timestamp, 16G middle finger, slide to 18 to 17B, then go 19B, bend, hold, release, 17B. Do that 3 times. Sounds like this.